Safety first, kids.
Yes. Oh, that's Mom's sweat coaster.
Oh.
Yeah. Are we? When we
Oh,
were
yeah, we are recording.
when
Yeah.
we were
Hopefully.
when we were in Punta Cana, my mom
Let me
would
make
take.
sure there. Yeah, we're recording. Okay.
Yeah, my mom would take these coasters and like swipe her sweat. I was like, gross, Mom. Now it's like a big joke because
They're her sweat.
her little sweat squeegees.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. Anyway.
Well, yeah, one of this.
Yeah.
Red Solo Cup.
Yes. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Hey, filling in for the ailing Bob Goff, I'm Randy Phillips.
Ailing in California.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
on
God.
assignment.
Yes, he is in the
Yeah.
pool. Not smoking cigars, as I hear.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
We'll
thanks
see
for
if that
joining us.
actually holds true.
That's what I was thinking. We don't really have a whole lot to cover. We don't want to get deep. I think last time you filled in when I was here anyway. We took you on kind of a more serious journey,
I'm more of a fluff kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm digging it. So let's talk about some fun stuff. So our guest tonight is someone very, very special to me, and we want to take you on a journey through her life. So I think it's only appropriate that maybe we give people a glimpse into maybe our lives, and I am really curious about yours. Now you don't have to you can get as deep as you want. We can stay on the surface, but I just want to kind of see like let's just start with most embarrassing moment. Do you have one?
Okay, so I have a rule.
Okay.
You can't embarrass me.
Good.
I dare you to embarrass me.
That's good.
Try.
Now,
you
did
can't.
you, did you ever?
Because I don't give a shit.
Yes. Now, was it always like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
When did that happen?
Early 20s. I finally said, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Let's see what happens.
I think that's early. Mine hit my I don't give a damn hit when I was like 30. I really came into my own, and I feel like felt myself for the first time. I was like, you know what? I'm good. Doesn't really matter. Now, I'm not saying I didn't have embarrassing moments before then. So
yeah,
you had no embarrassing moments like as a child that kind of like, I don't want to say traumatized.
I'll give you a great one. Okay, so I grew up I went to Ellington School and started kindergarten in 1965.
You're but a pup.
Well, yeah, well, it was the 60s and everybody had long hair and at that time my parents were older folks and my hair was shorter. Started growing my hair longer, and at some point some of the other kids made fun of me because my hair was very straight at the time. And so my mom, who was a hairdresser, I said, Mom, I need some kind of a wave or something, just a little bit of curl in my hair or something like that. Oh, okay. She gave me the full afro almost.
Full perm.
And I went to school, and oh, baby, did I get it. And in fact, I came home for lunch that day, and I said, I'm not going back.
Did you like it?
No, I hated it.
Okay.
I said, Mom, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about making just a little something, just a
little something.
But
now, as a hairdresser, she didn't know that she could put you through the wash your hair and let that relax a little bit.
Oh no, this was permanent wave.
It was like
this was the permanent wave solution from the 1960s.
It
was
awesome.
the same. It was left over from the nuclear tests out in Nevada back in the 40s.
It was like burning your skin off and tightening your hair up.
Well, it was that smell. If you've ever smelled that smell, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But imagine it back in the 60s when there was no OSHA rules or anything like that.
Yeah, no FDA. Yeah.
That's so funny. that was, I can tell you that was an embarrassing time.
I think a lot of people have embarrassing moments from
Thanks,
school,
Mom.
from school year, from the school age, right? Because it's kind of like your formidable years, like you're trying to fit in, and anything that you can do to fit in always kind of seems to backfire, I think.
Yeah.
What?
So I'm just making sure you're picked up on this mic.
Yes. This is a good one, isn't it? Yeah.
My mom permed my hair too, Randy.
Okay.
Do you remember that, or do you?
No.
No. Okay. So.
Did you like yours?
No. Oh. And I don't.
What year would that have been?
Ooh.
Roughly.
Probably like 91.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember 1991.
No, you don't.
No, God, no.
I don't either, to be honest.
Yeah.
How do you not know?
I don't remember. Years to me they all just run together. Yeah. So
I have very specific memories, but there are, not to get too deep into a few like we talked about here just a second ago, but there are multiple years that I don't have any memories of.
Really?
Whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blocking them out.
just I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I've had a few of those, and then there are some that I can block out. Is a perm your most embarrassing?
Moment?
Yeah. Do you have one?
No, I mean, the other day was pretty embarrassing
really?
for me. That was pretty mortifying.
Which one?
So I went to Aldi.
Oh
to,
God, oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, I went there for Aldi Advent
Let me
Calendar
get the fire
Day.
extinguisher out here and get ready for this.
It's a good one, guys.
So Aldi Advent Calendar Day, we don't really celebrate Advent ourselves, but we like to do the, Christmas countdown.
Heck yeah.
And Advent calendars have been marketed up to, be that. Now there's ones for, there's little Lego ones. There were little mini K-Cup ones, scented candles. I was there.
I didn't even
for
know
the-
this was a thing until you mentioned it. So thank you for giving me the scoop.
I
been a
knew
thing
there was
for
the
a
little
while.
bottles of booze
Yep.
advent
So
calendars.
That was that was making it happening. And then they started doing, ones for kids and just everything under the box. But what I wanted in my box was the cheese ones and the chocolate ones. And then I was really excited about the little hot sauce bottles. So I did look up the Aldi ad and figured out back in October, okay, it's November 5th. That's when it's coming out.
Good day.
And yeah, it's a great
It's like
day.
McRib Day for me.
McRibs is back. They're not, sorry.
And then
They're
I guess
pretty quick
people
there.
were
Next week.
seeing, next week.
Oh, that's what the word on the street is.
You got the scoop.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So I got in line with everyone else. People were lining up at the door,
Yeah.
and I was filming this because I was impressed myself at the fact that I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this, for an advent calendar, but it was fun. And while I was in there, it wasn't completely chaos because people were being respectful. I felt like I was Aldi Claus up in there reaching,
was.
for the older ladies that couldn't reach them, and some gal was like, oh, where's the Lego one? I'm like, oh, I got you, girl, here you go. And I asked one of the employees, hey, where are those chocolate ones? And she told me. I ran over to get them, and then I ran back to the holiday aisle, and I'm like, hey, everyone, the chocolate ones are over here. And then,
Aisle 7.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then I made my way to the self-checkout, something I never, ever, ever used because I think it takes away, from the workforce.
Sure.
Also, I suck at it. But I know I did it right because, I paid for everything. I had my receipt. But when you grab your receipt, I always shove it in my purse, my pocket.
I shove
don't
it in my
know.
purse, but sometimes I think there's an option if you want to print it or not.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to remember. I don't remember the transaction because I do think that was an option. So anyway, long story short, I'm leaving, saying bye to all my friends. Bye,
your Advent
everyone.
calendar friends.
And
See y'all next year.
Yeah, get in my car.
Advent Claus out.
Aldi Claus.
Aldi Claus.
Claus.
That's it. Aldi Claus. Out.
And the lady walks out the door and is looking right at me. I'm in my car, and I'm like, oh, she's coming for me. I roll down my window, and she puts her hands on the hood of my car, even though my window is down. I'm like, oh my God, this is dramatic. And
This girl's aggressive.
she, I need to see a receipt. And I'm like, where'd I put that thing?
Yeah.
I'm like, why? And she goes, we need to make sure you paid. I'm like, why?
What'd I do? Do
What
I
did
look
I-
like some kind of hoodlum?
Yeah, well, why? You had cameras that are right on the self-checkout. Half the reason why I don't like using self-checkout.
Yeah, because they make you look a little haggard.
I'm like a frog every time,
I look bad. Yeah.
So, why? Well, the guy wasn't standing up there when you did the self-checkout. I'm like, so this is my fault?
my problem?
My problem, I show her my receipt. No, sorry. She goes, well, not accusing anybody. I just had to find out.
No, you
What,
absolutely.
what was that transaction that just happened?
Yeah.
Was that, so,
Your handprints on the hood of my car say otherwise.
I knew people by name there, and they were all seeing this in the parking lot too. Mortified is
Yeah, that is
You've got a
embarrassing.
shifty look about you.
Look, I've only been accused of stealing one thing in my life, and that was because I was.
And you earned that title of being the klepto at that moment. But however,
The thing that I was stealing was my parents' booze, and then I was filling it up with water.
I've done that.
Yeah.
That's different.
My
That's
parents
borrowing.
tell that story all the time.
Yeah.
The other, I guess, embarrassing story that they tell, one time I was filling out a application or something, and it said permanent address, and I was like, "What's my permanent address?"
Oh.
They're like, "Here." I'm like, Psh, "I'm not gonna permanently live here. You're out of your mind.
Oh.
I'm out of here as soon as
were
I'm
just-
18."
You were forward thinking. You're like, no, I'm not putting that.
So that's another story that, my
never
parents like
goes
to
away.
tell.
Yeah.
And I guess the worst embarrassing thing for me happened when actually I was pregnant. My mom likes to put out these Christmas letters. I think Randy's probably got one, or maybe. They're
I know what
like,
you're talking about. Just summarizing the year and whatever kid's doing.
front to back, like the summarize, and I'm no longer in the Christmas letters. I've asked not to be since this incident because, so while I was pregnant, I experienced every awful thing under the sun, one of them being shingles.
Oh,
Ooh.
party.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's actually
Pregnancy shingles.
Yes,
Okay.
very much a thing. I've
Well, if anybody's gonna get
never
one, you
had
would.
yes, never had the problem, since then. But my back was on fire. It was awful, and my mom, being the
Go tell it on the
medical
mountain.
that and the medical guru that she is, decides to use the medical terminology for shingles, which is the herpes zoster virus.
Oh.
She wrote in the Christmas letter to everyone that I had herpes.
Yes!
So those,
Hey, you got it from a doorknob.
That's amazing, a tractor seat. That's hilarious.
so I mean, most of my embarrassing stories stem from my mother.
Hey, that's what they're good for that.
Yeah.
They have a memory too that kind of like doesn't let you forget some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Even though you don't need help remembering.
Yeah, no.
It's there.
It's there forever. So thank you, Mom. I
Thank
appreciate
you, Kathy, for what a great story.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But so yeah, I think I have come to the, what do you call it? What is it? You don't give a
shit. I mean, you just don't give a damn. Like you've come
don't
into
give
your
a damn.
you come into your own. You're kind of like, hey, it is what it is. If I shat myself right now, something's going to happen tomorrow to someone else that's going to be more newsworthy. No one's going to remember.
I feel like
Are you planning on that?
I mean, listen, you never know.
I feel like I've come to that though. So
Yeah.
with the Aldi thing, I turned out making a witty Facebook post about
Yeah,
it.
it was great.
I'll never let my mom live down the time she told everyone in the
had
Christmas
herpes.
card. And I don't know. And the permanent address thing, it's a story that they tell
Yeah.
still to this day.
Yeah.
So like
Ashley,
everything
your
was
turn.
for a reason.
Yeah, so when I'm saying that I've come into my own and I try to, it's like when you're young. I try to tell my kids all the time, when they do something embarrassing, I'm like, you know what, something's going to happen that is going to trump what you think is just the most embarrassing thing. However, that's my wisdom. When I was younger, I'm sure I did a host of embarrassing things and probably have
I'm sure
blocked
we're
out
gonna
some
hear
stuff.
about them.
Well, yeah, but one of the most, I think, probably pivotal moments, because like I said, most of my embarrassing moments happened when I was trying to fit in. And as you can tell, I've never been blessed in the chest area. So back when...
It's okay, me neither.
Okay, which might be a good thing. But way back when, it was considered, if you had big boobs, you were more attractive. Like people just liked you more. And I'm not saying that's changed, but I don't give a shit anymore. But way back when, I wanted to have bigger boobs, so I would stuff my bra. And I know I'm not the only one, and I would never call anybody out, but I'm definitely not the only one who did it. I am, however, the only one who had her stuffing fall out, running through the Tangerine with all of her friends on the ground. All of my friends caught it. They didn't let me live it down for a long time.
Meanwhile, they probably had stuffing themselves.
They might. I'm not dogging on anybody, but I'm the one who had it fall out. And
Were there guys in the group that?
oh yeah.
Oh, so they probably grabbed some of it.
Oh, they probably, yeah. I mean,
Probably
I'm taking this home.
You probably still have it to this
After
day.
it fell out and I kind of saw it on the ground, it was like, bee. I don't remember anything after that. And then I don't remember if it was before or after, probably the whole stretch of timeline. My mom and my sister used to call me Spot. And that's because a spot Band-Aid could cover my tatas. And it has always been hilarious, but still I tie it all back in like, oh, that was traumatizing for me. And now that I'm looking back, if that was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me, I'm pretty damn lucky.
Okay. All right. Happiest.
I'll go first on that one. So I think I've been blessed with so many happy memories, but I think a lot of them stem from okay, I'll just say it. I had shitty relationships up until Luke. So having him come into my life was like, oh, like this angel was sent.
And you took mine.
Really?
Well, it wasn't Luke coming into my life.
Well, but still, he's pretty good. But then, so since
There's something we need to talk about.
you're right. But since he came into my life, it kind of has like my life has had like this upward trend, and then of course I have my girls, and it just seems like things keep falling into place. And I hate to even say it, but it's like I'm waiting for some kind of shoe to drop, and it's like, and I know that's a terrible outlook, but it's like when things are just trending up, you're like waiting for that.
Where's the edge of the cliff?
Yeah, you're waiting for your feet to get kicked out from underneath you. But that's definitely meeting him. And I met him in high school, and I know we've talked about this before, but the timing wasn't right. And then we met back up after he moved back in town, and it just seems like since then, things have just been great. So I'm attributing all of that to maybe learning from not so great experiences in people, but it's been pretty awesome. Next.
Oh, me? Okay, well.
And it's okay.
I would say
it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it is that. But the first thing that came to my mind is obviously the birth of my daughter. But I didn't have her under the most peaceful circumstances. It was a very traumatic time in my life. I didn't have the most loving relationship with the sperm donor. So when her father came into my life, which is Mike, and that is when literally it lifted. Everything was like you said, it was like the clouds spread, and everything was just easier from there. Before him, it was so hard, and he made it so I could enjoy
life,
my child.
Yeah,
I know that sounds really bad, but at the beginning, it was not enjoyable.
Sure.
And so he made it so that I could actually, enjoy having what I had.
Yeah, the good things.
How sappy.
I know.
I love it.
Yeah,
you're gonna make me cry. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, all right, well,
tell us about when Marcy met you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. When Marcy met me, that was her
That was
happiest
her
day.
best moment. Yeah.
Similar kind of thing. But other than that, I two different things. The very first time I soloed an airplane.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big accomplishment.
Yeah. Life-changing.
Because you don't have somebody sitting there that knows what they're doing. It's up to you. That's it. And
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure at all. And honestly, the first time I took off, flew around, came back to land, and I realized I was gonna be too far down the runway. So I powered back up, went back around, came back in, and dropped it in perfectly where it was supposed to be at.
Adapt and overcome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
what were you thinking that first time though, when you realized it was?
He was thinking, man, I'm about to have an Ashley embarrassing moment and shit my pants. Yeah, that's what I would think.
It's you're concentrating, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and making things happen because you got nobody else to rely on. But I took that few seconds to look around and think, I'm up here by myself. I'm doing it all by myself.
Yeah.
This is cool.
That's crazy.
And then I had to stop flying for about 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. And the second time I soloed, when I came back and did it again, and I did it in a plane that I owned then, and it was a whole different type of plane. That was a very happy moment. And really, when I was 26 days shy of my 60th birthday, I got my flight instructor rating. Because to get a flight instructor rating, there's a lot of studying. I took 3 separate tests, about 150 questions each, I think it was, written tests. I took a 5.5-hour oral exam from an examiner asking me questions, having me teach how to teach,
sure.
Show how to teach, explaining aerodynamics and everything involved with how I would teach a student, and then going up, and it was a 2.5-hour flight test. And you don't fly from this pilot seat, you fly from the co-pilot seat over here, because that's where you would be sitting as an instructor. Okay. And the person who's the examiner, he's trying to mess you up.
Oh.
You say, okay, I want you to do a turn or do something, whatever. And he'll do it, but he'll do it wrong. And you have to correct him and make sure he knows what he's doing. Ooh. And in the end, we got through the whole flight test, and he said, okay, take me back to the airport and do this specialty type of landing. If you don't kill us, you passed.
And I assume you passed.
And here we are. Yeah. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, I'd worked on that for a long,
How old were you
long
then?
time. I was 26 days shy of my 60th birthday when
That's
I did
incredible.
that.
Wow.
What an accomplishment.
So
Not a lot of people can say they've done that.
And I've had my flight instructor rating now for 5 years, going on 6. So.
And then you would be remiss if you didn't mention Marcy.
Who? Oh,
You
sorry.
quit. Listen, you can kill him later. We'll help you hide the body.
No, I'll pay for that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Marcy and I dated off and on for 22 years before we got married. There was about a 5-year period where we weren't together, and it was not a very good time.
Sure.
And we didn't part on amicable terms, and didn't speak for almost 5 years. And at a Mahler's show,
Go Maulers.
Go Maulers, one night, her and her then husband came walking by, and I had a large amount of Jägermeister inside of me.
You don't
and I
say.
said, "Thanks for coming." And that was the first time I'd talked to her in 5 years. And it was not too long after that we got back together.
C'est la vie.
So
Rest
there
is
you go.
history.
She liked that
That's excellent.
performance.
Well,
She did that on purpose, I feel. I feel like that was there was a purpose behind that. Very, very good stuff. I mean, obviously life is full of ups and downs and triumphs.
And we just had our
and-
15th anniversary wedding
Well,
anniversary.
congratulations.
Yeah, so.
That's excellent. I always say it's amazing when you get this far. You know, when people talk about, I know I said this the other day, on my birthday, people are like, oh, getting older. And I know it may change as I continue to get older, but I always feel like, again, maybe toxic positivity here, but I think we're lucky to have made it this far. And if the further you make it in life, you just have to look at it like we're lucky to be here, even though life can be a shitstorm or, throw things at you that you never want to have to overcome or even face. It's all kind of a challenge, and it ends up with showing you how resilient you can be, and takes you some pretty crazy and cool places. So absolutely. I'm really excited to talk to our guest. I wish we could sit here all night. There's a lot more that I want to ask you guys. But I have
That's all I'm going to tell you. How's
yeah,
that?
I have a feeling that our guest conversation is going to go the distance. This gal has lived quite a life. Take it, because I'm going to get emotional.
I'm going to cry. I'm sitting here. Yes, she has lived quite a
yeah.
life. And she made some really cool babies.
Yeah, she did.
One of them is sitting next to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, thank you
I don't
to
know
my
how we're
best
going to
friend.
get through this, but we're going to try. She is
I'll get
quite
the
woman.
tissues ready.
Yeah,
How's that?
she's quite the woman, so stay
Oh,
tuned.
we'll
You
just
do
get him
not
out of
want-
Ashley's bra.
No,
Okay.
perfect.
What a great segue. Thank you so much. I can't wait to sit down and talk with her. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this.
What have you been missing on Muddy River Gems? You won't believe your eyes. My crew and I have been bringing you stories for more than 20 years on PBS and now Muddy River News. And we're just getting started.
All right.
Hi,
Mom,
baby.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What do you think about that intro?
That was very interesting.
Did you know I could be sweet?
Yes, I've known you can be sweet for a long, long time. You can also be very sour.
Yes, I can.
It's like the candy.
Yes.
Yeah.
My Uncle Greg used to say that I was like a cat because I only wanted attention when I wanted it. Now, I don't want to make this podcast about me because we have a very amazing person at the table. It's been a long time coming.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, you have a very extraordinary life. And I was talking to Nora this morning about it, and she asked who was going to be on the podcast, and I told her you were, and she was like, huh, why? And I said, Grandma has led a very interesting life. It'll be interesting for you to hear about it, and I can't wait for everybody to get a sneak peek into my life, my mom's life, how we all came to be. I think it's going to be incredible. I do have snot rags here because I probably will get emotional. But you have, let's start here, because you have a big birthday coming up.
I do.
Big
I
7-0.
do. Yeah. Can you believe it?
No,
I know.
because you do not look it at
Thank
all.
you.
She doesn't.
Seriously.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
But you have led one of the most interesting and incredible lives with lots of joy and loss and triumph and challenge. And I want to dig into it, but I only want to go as far as you want.
Okay.
So we can keep it as surface level or go as deep as you want. I'll leave that up to you.
Sure.
Brittany's probably going to have some questions. She's probably going to want to dig in on
Okay.
the scoop.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want to go too far back because I feel like this could go on for days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I do want to start at the beginning because it has, no doubt been your foundation. Let's talk about the beginnings.
Okay.
Okay? So you were born,
I was.
thank God. Thank God you were born.
I was.
You were raised in a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about your upbringing?
I can. First, I'm the oldest of 4 girls, 4 daughters. My mom was a nurse. She was very forward thinking, and she always told us you need to make your way before you get married, make sure you can support yourself, which was unheard of back in the 60s. And my dad was a printer, and the girls are every 26 months apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that planned?
Well, Mom said that one was because Dad wanted to buy a new house, and another one was because he wanted to buy a new car. So she got pregnant. I'm like, wow, how not smart was that?
Yeah. Not very good planning, but still.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were raised Catholic, and my parents were pretty strict. We didn't have a lot of extra things like you girls did because they put everything they had into their house.
Which was beautiful.
Yes, it was a nice house. And my dad was super strict, and my mom was the matriarch, but Dad did all the dishing out of the punishments.
Yeah.
So he didn't mess with Dad, ever.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I stuck my tongue out at him, and my whole life passed before my eyes.
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God.
Yeah.
But he pulled back, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But
And I think that kind of, through my childhood, we could always tell that Grandpa was very stern and not someone to mess with. And I only saw the softer side after I had kids. So it's really interesting progression of life and how you kind of view things. But it wasn't all strict. And I mean, you had good times.
Sure we did.
You and
Sure we
your
did.
sisters.
we had parades, and
Yeah.
we had plays, and we did dress up all the time.
Yeah.
My Grandpa Stepasky lived on a farm, and we went out there and had a great time.
Yeah.
So-
And my grandma, your mom, is the reason that we have such a large family because she was one of how many?
9.
9.
So is that why you're related to everyone in town?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
She was a Stepasky.
Oh,
and everybody
okay.
and their
Yeah.
dog spawns from a Stepasky, it
Yeah.
seems like.
yeah, I don't think birth control was really a thing back then, especially
No.
if you were Catholic,
Yeah,
right? It was
no,
just
it
kind of
wasn't.
like rolling the dice. Yeah. But all of my great aunts, her aunts and cousins, they got all this talent. They're beautiful singers. They're very
Except for us.
Yeah, we got the short end of the
nothing.
stick, which that's okay because we fared very well in other
We
places.
did. We're very smart and quick-witted.
Yes,
So.
and fortunate to have, like we were talking about before, we came into our own, and I think that's because of the strong roots and the independence that we were taught through not only grandma, but even her mom. And, there was just a long line of not only sassiness, but independence and very, very cool stuff. So after childhood, obviously, you go through like high school. And when did you come into your own? Do you remember kind of that
I
moment?
came into my own 25 years ago when I got divorced.
Okay, yeah, which is another story.
Yeah.
So
I want to take it back real quick though.
Yeah.
You said you were born and raised Catholic. Do you still practice?
I do
know-
not.
So that's a
Yeah.
huge foundation. That's kind of how it is in my life too.
Yeah.
Born and raised Catholic, and I don't want to say like we stray for different reasons. For me, I read some books.
you,
Yeah.
you enlightened yourself.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying the religion is wrong by any means. Faith is
Right.
a beautiful thing.
is.
Organized religion just isn't for me.
No, me
and
either.
I think that does say something about like the strength, the independence, the strong roots. I don't need that to direct my life to be a good person.
Right. I'm
and I
very
see that.
spiritual.
Are
Very
you?
spiritual.
So, do you believe in God, or do
I
you just
do.
think of a higher power?
Higher,
How does-
a higher power. I mean, you know, you waffle back and forth throughout your life over who's
easy.
in charge.
Yeah.
You know, but I have found that, and I've told Ashley this many times, you know, things tend to work out. You just have to lay back, relax. I mean, do your job, you know, work toward it. But everything seems to work out. And I think that that's got to be something out in the
Yes.
universe
Yeah.
that's guiding that.
Yeah.
So,
But we were raised, I mean, we were baptized and we went to PSR, and I remember, you know, pretending to be sick every Sunday so I didn't have to go, and I remember still having to go. And we went to Catholic church, and again, not knocking any, you know, religion or anyone's faith, but it just wasn't for me. It was boring. I didn't hear any words that were being said because it was all just, you
other
know.
churches are more inspirational, I think.
Yeah.
They kind of take the Bible and relate it to modern day life.
Yes.
Catholic religion just, I don't want to say spews because that makes me sound bitter. They just repeat the same thing, and they never really equate it back to what you're going through now.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons I strayed from the Catholic religion. And another was the time I was born. Everything changed because when I was younger, the Mass was in Latin. You couldn't touch the host. The priest had to have his back to you. He was
To the
up
congregation?
He was up on the altar. And you had to wear a hat. Girls had to wear dresses. I mean, it was just, and then like within a 10-year period, that all changed. And I thought,
How is that so?
why was it such a big deal? And now it's nothing.
Right. So
So-
yeah, the progression there also kind of makes you wonder what's really important. So through your Catholic upbringing,
I went to Catholic schools.
yep, and then you graduated from.
St. Peter's.
Okay.
Went to high school, junior high, loved it, loved it, loved it. Struggled for 8 years of my life to get C's in St. Peter's, and the minute I hit junior high, I got straight A's all the way through without even trying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was that because of when you went to school, it was nuns, right? Strict nuns.
Yeah,
Not a very pleasant experience.
it wasn't pleasant.
Did you get some bloody hands?
I've had my share of stuff.
Yeah. But you were a good kid.
I was.
Yeah.
I was. But I was a poor kid in the parish.
Okay. Yeah. Which seems to go against all the teachings, which may be another reason for some of the. Anyway, we won't go into that too much, but
Right. That's a whole nother show.
Right. I do think that now I don't want to speak for you, but did that shape your thoughts on marriage and children, and what do you?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, because divorce wasn't a very popular thing back then. I mean, it was really kind of frowned upon. And, you know, once you got married, you stayed married because you took those vows.
Right.
Till death do you part. But later in life, when I was seeking through a priest at St. Francis, Father Mittendorf, he said, you know, if it's not working for you, you've got to do something about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was weird for me, but that's what I needed to
But
hear.
I'm glad that he said that.
Yeah,
That's
what I needed to
unique.
hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unique to hear, but
Yeah.
also I think sometimes they're human too, and when they realize, you know,
Shit's going south.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Now,
gotta
so
adapt and overcome.
I mean,
Right.
our marriage was very, very rocky. I think Randy liked it because he kind of had charge of what I did through.
Randy's my dad.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
When
that's
did you guys
okay.
get married? How old were you?
I was 19.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Was
And-
that
Which wasn't unusual back then.
so?
It wasn't. I had finished training. I was
just gonna ask,
I
yeah.
was an X-ray tech. And we got married right after I graduated from training, and I got a job, even though he didn't ever want me to work because he was very possessive.
A
Very
little
possessive.
controlling. Yeah. And I don't want to paint all of that in a bad light because
No.
obviously his upbringing definitely gave him a foundation. He was also in the service, and I'm not saying I'm not giving excuses, but I just want
No.
to make sure that we're giving kind of
Yeah.
painting a broader picture.
Yeah.
I always say that people have to be friends first, and do you think that you had that to begin
No.
with?
No.
Okay.
We met in January, married in September. So it was bing, bing, bing.
Why?
Well, as I've told you many times, and your sister Summer.
Yeah. Shout out Summer.
Hi, babe. Don't mistake sex for love.
Yeah. Which I think probably a lot of people do. Maybe not so much anymore because I see it's kind of a
Times
shift.
are much freer now.
Yeah, there's a shift. But you were working. You were also going to school. I think you were working nights. You got married young in our minds.
Yeah.
I mean, today I couldn't imagine being married at 19, right? And then you had
What a baby.
yeah, but your first apartment, you had like lawn furniture or something, right? Like you had not a pot to piss in.
No.
Your family didn't have a pot to piss in, neither did Dad's. You made things work
We did.
for a very, very long time.
We did, 25 years.
Yeah, so I want to get more into that, but before we go there, so you got married at 19, and then you had Summer, my older sister, when?
In 23.
Okay. You were 23? Or you?
I was 23.
You were
yeah,
23.
When I was 23. Sorry, I said in 23.
No, that's all right. So you were 23 years old, but that's 4 years of ups and downs and good and bad. And you had
I
a lot of
always
friends.
say the neighbors came out every Friday and Saturday night with their popcorn and beer
see
on
the
their
show?
porches to watch us fight. And we had some doozies. Ooh, baby.
And
We
that
were-
lasted
we were
throughout the
interesting.
25 years.
Yeah, it did. We were
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah. I don't want to dominate because I mean,
How was that for you growing up? Did they ever, like, was it hard? Did
I had
they keep
the
it behind
best.
closed doors?
I had the best childhood. I have the best life. I have the best of both worlds. I think I knew that there were always rifts. I mean, obviously I knew because I would hear fights and stuff, but that was never in my realm. It wasn't
Right.
made a part of my world.
No.
I was a very
That's the way good parents do it.
yeah. I was a
Kudos.
challenging
Thank
kid.
you.
Summer was an angel, as far as I know, as far as she says. I don't know, but
Summer was pretty
she
good.
was pretty good. I was a
She was
challenge,
pretty good.
which may be why I'm getting, some challenges thrown my way. But hey,
A little bit.
anyway.
Payback.
But I've always
Always.
said that
Karma.
yeah, it is. I've always said, even though my parents' marriage didn't work out, and I do want to get more into that, I had a great dad. I had
Yeah,
a fantastic
he was a
mom.
great dad.
Great dad. Maybe not the best husband, and I think that sometimes it's important to distinguish the two. Just because this didn't work doesn't mean he's not still.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
It's just
Didn't mesh.
We couldn't stay married. We didn't have the skills or the tools to solve any issues. I mean, just for 25 years, he would bring the same thing back up, and we would have the same fight, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah.
exhausting.
It is exhausting. So we just did not have the skills to solve anything.
Yeah.
And we loved each other, but
It was obvious. I mean, and that's kind of where I stood, that it was obvious my parents loved each other. It was also obvious that they could be happier, maybe separate. And again, I do want to get more into that, but I think it's important to, to note that I had a great upbringing. It was,
I'm glad you remember it that way.
I never wanted for anything. I was
Spoiled. We
spoiled
talked
rotten.
about this.
I was spoiled rotten. My parents, even though they didn't have much, let me keep up with the Joneses by giving me all the things and making sure that I was, happy and loved. And I had great grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins, and we had a very tight relationship, which I think probably we leaned on a lot.
We did.
Through our family. We leaned on the tradition of certain things, dyeing eggs at my grandma's, or I always just had a huge village, and I knew that. So even if for a second I was not happy at home, I knew that Aunt Amy or Aunt Susie or Aunt Jack, I knew that they would come in and scoop me up. So I was blessed. Yeah, I'm a lucky girl.
Do you think that some of the reasons that you chose to spoil them is because of what you didn't have, or is it
Oh,
because
definitely.
was it because of your situation that you were in too? Any of that?
I don't think it was because of the situation. I chose my profession because I knew that I would always be able to get a job no matter where we went, and that it was pretty well paying for women back then. So I chose that, and I love it. I mean, I loved it. Because I wanted them to have the things that we didn't, because we didn't have dance classes and la la la. And the best birthday present I ever got in my life was my 12th birthday present. My mom gave me a Little Woman hardback book, and then it was an envelope that said, "You get to take piano lessons."
Oh,
It was the first thing I ever got to do.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So it was more about the experiences, which I think sometimes we do take for granted because everybody's lives are so busy. But it's interesting to hear that that's what you were more focused on, was giving us the experience, which you did. I mean, if you weren't running, you were running. I mean, we were constantly busy. We were doing all the things, and it was a great upbringing. Now, again, we can go as deep as you want.
Okay.
But I do want to talk about some things because you've been through a lot, and I think a lot of people can relate. And there's nothing like a conversation around a table to help people kind of cope with their own shit. So, divorce did happen. You alluded to it. It was after 25 years of marriage. I was 18. Summer was getting ready to get married. So it was later in life, which I think is a little more unique than a lot of people's situation. I didn't quite know how to handle it, but
Neither did I.
yeah, I
Neither
knew
did I.
that it was a necessity. Can you walk me through, as much as you want, what happened and
Sure.
how it was for you?
Sure.
Okay.
Randy's expectations of a wife was you stayed at home, you cooked, you cleaned, you ironed underwear, you did, and that's facetious, but that was who you are. You didn't have friends outside the family, and he let me work.
Yeah.
And
Very old school.
yeah.
And the way he was brought up, for sure.
Yes, very much. And I forgot the question. I was just
No,
rambling.
you're like when I asked about like take me through the experience,
Yeah.
you became almost like I don't want to say smothered because that's unfair to it, but you're definitely an
I was
independent
controlled.
woman. Yeah.
I was controlled.
Which
I had two personalities. I had my home personality, my work personality. My work personality, I progressed very fastly through the department, and I became manager after several years. And I was very strong, very capable. And when I went home, it was just like, is he going to be in a good mood? Is he going to be in a bad mood? Because when he was not happy, nobody was happy.
yeah.
So, I really kind of walked on eggs for quite a
Eggshells,
bit.
yeah. So you became kind of like I
Preserve
want
the
to,
family.
yeah,
unit.
I want to preserve the family, but you also kind of had this need to spread your wings, which you did with your friends, and we would go on walks and stuff, which is one of my like favorite memories. Going on walks with Rose and
Yeah. Good old Rose. She got
lots
me
of-
through a lot.
She did.
She did.
Lots of fun memories. But ultimately, divorce was inevitable because you found out that he was unfaithful. And I told you I was going to ask you this, but I don't want you to feel uncomfortable.
Okay, go ahead.
So when you already knew what was happening, I think it was kind of a denial thing.
It was. Keep
which
the family together.
Yeah, I understand. But when shit hit the fan, it hit the fan.
It did.
Talk about neighbors outside eating popcorn, guys.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had a violent personality, but
Don't mess with Joe.
baby, I was so mad, so mad. I went to where his truck was parked. He's a carpet layer. I found his carpet knife and I slashed holes in all 4 tires in the side of it. Felt so good, I went around and did it again. Went home, and Summer was there, unfortunately. I was trying not to tell her what was going on, but I was packing up his clothes.
But she has FOMO and she needed to know.
Yeah,
she has
does.
to know.
She
yeah.
does need to know. Packed his clothes up in the car and went to where he was and threw them in the yard and thought that's not good enough. So I threw them in the street and I ran over them 2 or 3 times.
Hell hath no fury.
I was so angry. I'll tell you, I've only had 3 really bad periods in my life. One was when Summer was born and I had the baby blues and it
Yeah.
was horrendous.
Devastating.
And the second one was my divorce. Took me a long time to get through that. And the third was when Steve died.
Yeah. And Steve was a blessing that came about at pretty pretty good time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that in just a second. But I want to go ahead and say we do not condone slashing tires.
No, please do not do that.
It may make you feel better in the interim, but it is not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. And
What's
I'll tell
that
you,
song?
I'll tell you what.
I dug my key into
Yeah,
it.
that's all
yeah.
I'm thinking the whole
Yeah.
time. I
Yeah.
dug
It was something like out of a movie.
Yeah.
But it was so real that it wasn't
It was very
entertaining.
real.
Yeah.
No, it was not entertaining. It was heart-rending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just devastating. And I since learned through that time period, I was perimenopausal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there a name for that when you go through a
Divorce,
Divorce
yeah,
and your
there
menopause,
is, and
yeah.
I've read a lot about that.
yeah.
It's called menopause.
Divorce. Okay. All right.
Menopause. And so I was perimenopausal. I was having a hard time at work. I was getting a divorce, and I just didn't have a happy place in my world. And I had what I guess they used to call kind of a nervous breakdown, and finally went and got some help through pharmaceuticals. God bless them.
Yeah.
And got kind of out of that, and it helped me a lot. But the menopause is so interesting, and I'm probably veering you away from what you want to know.
No, you're good. I like to talk about this.
Because they say women, especially women like me who had children and a job, and you're just so busy through your whole life when your children are home that you don't stop and take the time to look at your marriage or to look at your partner or to stop and think of what you want.
Yeah. Think about yourself.
Yeah.
Self-care.
And then when the shit hit the fan, basically, it was, I stopped and I thought, this is time to go. It's time to go. I
Yeah.
can't live through this.
Yeah.
It was very debilitating, mentally debilitating.
How old were you then?
It was 25 years ago, so do the math.
55.
45.
45.
45.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we're not
okay.
mathers here.
No.
Yeah,
We're not
sorry.
mathers here, Mom.
Get the calculator.
But so you were my age?
Yeah, I was your age.
Wild. Because it doesn't seem like that long ago. I mean, it does in a sense, but in another
Mm-hmm.
sense, it feels like a blink. So, so you went through that, which was no doubt life-changing,
Mm-hmm. Shattering.
shattering. Yeah, it
People
was
who-
life-shattering.
People who read the divorces in the paper and stuff go, oh, that's so sad, but you don't realize how much is really
That stayed.
involved in it
Yeah.
until it's you.
And I don't think it ever really goes away. It's always a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
But you since have gone through so many transformations.
I have.
And it's been a joy to watch how you have come into your own. It's inspirational, and I don't want to get like cliche or emotional, but as a daughter who watched you go through so much stuff, which we'll get into more of it in just a second, it teaches me kind of the way to be more resilient, to learn not to give so much of a damn, to learn that everything does tend to work out. And I find
does.
myself saying that to not only my friends, my kids. It's teachable moments that unfortunately have to come from someone's strife. I'm not saying I'm glad it was
Right.
you, but I'm learning from
Right.
them. So it has a purpose. And I don't want to steal all the
No,
things.
you're fine.
So
Also, just point out, like, she's teaching you or has taught you long after, you left the house.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
like,
it's
I think
never
she's,
stopped.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's still teaching you. So
yeah.
That's kind of a beautiful thing.
It is.
Where,
It is. My
Yeah.
girls and I are close.
Yeah.
And Summer doesn't ask for advice as much as Ash does, but
But we're so sympathetic. We're basically the same person. And my grandma is the same. I feel like we're a very long line of kind of the same person. Maybe it's getting diluted a little bit. Maybe not.
probably not.
or maybe stronger.
But
Yeah.
could be. But I hope that I instill it in my girls. Not only has my mom like shown me the way through choices and how she overcomes things, but she's also my hero because another thing that she went through, breast cancer, which you think that, well, I've gone through this, what more can life throw at me? When did you get diagnosed with breast cancer?
I never think that, first of all,
Yeah,
because I have many friends who have been to get that little thing.
it's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I have many friends who have had that type of thought process, and God or the universe or the other being or whatever you want to call it has beat them down and
Yeah.
said, I'll show you what else can happen. So I never think that. I was diagnosed when I was 54. And this is just so weird to me. I saw 3 women that I hadn't seen in ages. And each one of them, within a week's time, the week before I got my mammogram, and each one of them was going through breast cancer, and they were all in different stages. And I thought, this is kind of what I want to say,
Omen.
the preemptor or
Yeah.
whatever. My mom always thought she had ESP, and so
Maybe she passed that on to you.
maybe, no.
I don't discount it.
So I had my mammogram, and they said, oh, we see something, we need to do an ultrasound. And I thought, God dang it, I got breast cancer. And so I knew it. It didn't bother me. I knew it was going to be a bump in the road. I then had a bilateral mastectomy, which is both breasts removed. And then I had reconstruction surgery. Everything went great. I didn't have to have chemo or radiation therapy. I just did pills. They took everything, and I took my pills for 6 years, and here I am.
So, in listening to this, I think it's probably apparent why she's
So strong.
I
like you just
admire
literally
it.
said like breast cancer was a
No
bump
big
in the
deal.
road.
It
Yeah.
was a bump in the road. It was just a bump in the road.
Yeah.
You know,
And that was her attitude the entire time. This
Yeah.
is not just after the fact. This was
Yeah.
the entire road.
Yeah, Dr. Rich said to me when I went to see her last month, she said that a relative of hers was diagnosed with breast cancer. She said, I keep trying to get her to call you.
Yeah.
She said, because you had the best attitude of anybody I've ever seen with that. And I said, well, that's what you got to keep a positive attitude, because nobody wants to be around a Debbie Downer to begin with.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And deep in my heart, I knew it was just one and done.
Yeah. But through that journey, it was even more inspiring, even more, oh my gosh, this gal, like just,
You're like, what else can?
Well, and it's not,
Even though we're not supposed to say that.
But
Yeah,
it
don't ever
is.
think
She's
that. Ooh.
very, we've talked about it. You see that meme that's like the one guy's on the left side of the bus looking out
Yeah.
the left window and it's all gray and gloom, and then the other guy's looking out the same bus ride, but it's green, and it's like your perspective and your attitude helps kind of shape how you deal with certain
It does.
situations.
100%.
Yeah. So then you had an uptick, a bright spot in
I
your life,
did.
right? You went to a class reunion.
I did.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I did. I didn't want to go. That actually was before my breast cancer.
Oh, okay.
That's when I was still in my devastating downward trend. And I didn't want to go. And one of the girls that graduated with me was an employee of mine. And she said, yeah, I need you to run the check-in desk. I said, okay. And I would not have gone if she hadn't done that. But she was a very good friend and very smart. And so I went. And one of my good friends from high school was there. His name was Steve Enlow. Steve Paw. And we hooked back up, and he lived in Chicago. I went up there. He came back down here. And he had no family, so to speak. He only had one sister who was left living, and she lived in Hawaii, so not close. He had a few nieces and nephews. He had never been married. And like Ashley and Summer like to say, they sucked him in and didn't let him loose.
Yes.
He loved my family
Yes, he did.
very much.
I think it was probably difficult coming into, because we are so tight knit, like I alluded to, someone who's been a bachelor, just a perpetual bachelor. He worked for United in
Baggage
Chicago.
claim handling.
He had his own life there. He hooked back up with my mom at a class reunion, which is why you should always go to your class reunions, guys. We were just talking about hers is coming up.
Oh, they're so fun. I
yeah.
mean, especially at 30 years, nobody cares who you were
Yes.
or what you did.
Right.
All that's been forgotten because we can't remember anything. anymore.
Right.
That's what I was about to say. I
No
wouldn't be able to
judgment.
remember.
You just go in to make those connections again, and I'm not saying that you're going to make these lost connections, but you did. He did have a change of life, I think, after
think
meeting
so,
you,
too.
and he became the Steve Paul. We call him that because he was obviously our adopted grandpa to the grandkids who adored him. He taught my nephew how to cook, gave him a love for the culinary stuff. My kids were in awe of him. I'm not saying he wasn't fallible. He had
Oh,
things.
He was very fallible.
And you guys were both very independent, so converging those two lives back in Quincy when he moved back was very funny to watch from the outside. I mean, so one of our favorite jokes is Mom and Steve Paul got in a fight, and what did he say? You were driving around and he said, just drop me the fuck off.
Yeah.
And we say that more often than not when we start getting like fed up with each other. Just drop me the fuck off. Sorry for the F-bomb. You can whack it out if you want. But they had a great life. How many years were you?
17.
17. Now, marriage was always talked about.
It was.
You definitely had common law. I don't even know if that's legal. You know, is it
not
recognized?
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
But what
anyway,
does it matter?
Doesn't. It was,
We almost got married for my mom, though,
yeah.
because she really thought we needed to be married. And
She thought.
she was ill.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was ill and she was dying.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, this would be a great thing to give to her as a parting gift, so
Sure.
to speak. But I said, you know,
Yeah.
I can't do it again.
Yeah.
You know, I need the freedom to be able to walk away. And I'll tell you, those of you that are out there, the great thing about later in life relationships are that you know who you are, they know who they are, and you don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so much easier, so much more.
And it was apparent in your relationship. I think you guys really had fun. I think he had fun. Just a very cool relationship. And since he's since passed away, which was another
Devastating.
Yep. Big hurdle, big challenge. We all felt the loss. We feel the loss daily. I send memories, you know, all the time. But I think it's another like life-altering moment that if it doesn't break you, and I hate that what doesn't kill
Yeah.
you makes you stronger, but it does prove that resiliency is a thing, and it shows you, maybe it didn't show you, but it showed us who you are fundamentally as a woman, to not give up. And I think that's been the trend, you know?
Well, thank
And I'm
you.
going to get emotional, but
Yeah, thank
so
you
you
for
go ahead and
saying
take
that.
over. But
I mean, thank you for saying that,
Yeah.
because I don't feel I'm extraordinary in any way.
I
think I've just had a regular life with this
yeah, peaks and
business.
valleys. Well, I don't think it's the peaks and valleys that define you. It's how you react to them, and showing me, my kids, my husband, our family, Summer, her family, showing just such a great example of how to still be strong and true to yourself, and don't sweat the small stuff, and everything's going to be fine. That has shaped my attitude, and maybe
Good.
that's where like this toxic
I was
positivity
just about to say
comes
toxic
through.
positivity
But
must be hereditary.
It's like a
Could be.
thing, and I don't like the term toxic, but toxic to me means that it spreads, and if that's what it means, then I'm okay
Let's
with
do it,
that,
yeah.
because I think the world needs more of that, and I think the world needs more. And I always say this: when we see all these kids getting in trouble, they just need a Grandma Jill.
They need a grandma.
They need a
They need a
grandma.
grandma.
They need a good
Yeah.
example. They need someone to show them that it's not the situation you're in, it's how you react to it and how you overcome, and all of these things.
And the decisions you make.
The decisions you make, the
You got
choices
to-
always have consequences.
They do, every choice.
They do.
Every choice, good or bad.
Now you're taking everything that you learned, though, and I've noticed. So you just said one of your old coworkers was wanting somebody to reach out that is, you know, experiencing breast cancer. You have taken this on to like talk to people. I know you've talked to Ashley's friends, including myself, when I was having a hard time one time. You take your experiences and now you're using them for not just yourself. And that itself is admirable, because sometimes we learn what we learn and we kind of just go with it, and we want to lead our own story, our own lives. You don't want to, a lot of people don't want to get involved in other people's
Right.
drama
Sure.
is the thing. You're not scared to. And I love that about you.
Thank you.
I thank
You are you calling me a Budinsky?
Yeah, totally. I mean, Ashley's one too. So.
I am totally a Buttinsky, and I feel like there are times when my counseling is not appreciated. It's just something that obviously comes naturally. It may not always be appreciated, but it's something that I can't stop.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's always in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
What you hear is always in the back of your mind. And
Yeah.
when you need it, you can draw on it. If you don't need it, yay, raw for you.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's like, good for you. You
Yeah.
got a
Some
great
of your
life.
just your mannerisms are just so, it's so cute
We're the
watching
same.
you guys and yay raw.
Yeah.
That's an Ashley, yay raw.
Yeah, right. So it used to, when I was young, people would say, "Oh my God, are you Jill's daughter or what?" And it would drive me crazy. And when I say young, I'm talking like 5th grade, right? When I hit like 6th and 7th, I started getting a little more, okay.
Maybe she's pretty cool.
Well, and then 8th and 9th, and then I saw her go through these things, and then 10th and 11th, and then I'm like, oh my God, yes, thank you. I am Jill's daughter. It is, what a weird progression, just like going through these moments, and I hope that my kids see the same thing, and I hope they know how lucky they are to have such a strong lineage of strong women, and I'm not saying that outside experiences didn't build that for you, but you definitely, the mindset, the attitude, the perspective, that's what keeps you going in a positive direction, and you love life, you love your family, you are the epitome of everything that it is to be a strong woman, especially in today's age. I don't know,
But I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
that's all right, neither am I.
That's what makes strong women, right?
We may not be everybody's cup of tea, but we are.
We like ourselves anyway, so it
Everyone's
doesn't
shot of
matter.
tequila.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
There's so much more that I could sit and talk about.
We
but
could talk forever. I want to
Yeah.
know, let's bring it back to the beginning.
Okay.
Jill, what is your most embarrassing moment?
You know, I was thinking of that when you guys were talking about it, and I'm with Randy. I just don't get embarrassed very often, and I can't.
Did
Can't
Ashley
even
ever
recall.
embarrass you?
I bet.
Oh, please! I embarrassed the shit out of her constantly, but it was probably not.
I wasn't embarrassed. I was more angry with Ashley.
Guys, I was a shithead.
She was a bad child.
Yeah, I was a challenging kid.
But she was basically a good person, her and Summer both. They're just totally different. Summer, if somebody got their feelings hurt, Summer would go and empathize with that person and try and make them feel better. And Ashley would go after the person who hurt their feelings and beat the shit out of them.
There. See, it never stops. I
It's
mean,
just
it's
the way
perpetual.
they are, yeah.
I think that.
So you got a little bit of both.
I
in
got
both
everything.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of you and each of them.
And I know she has embarrassing shit. It's just I can't recall either. You don't have you don't have that like thing where you just get embarrassed. You also have no filter, which is another thing that comes from our long lineage, which is why we're not everyone's cup of tea.
Right.
I will say this. Not only am I just so lucky to have you as a mom, a role model, a hero, someone that I look to for advice, you're my rock. You're the best grandma, the best sister, the best friend. You've led nothing but a life of shining examples for everyone around you. Yeah.
wish-
Oh, hold on. Let me take this out of my bra here.
But I do want to end this with a big thank you. You're the best.
Thank you. Thank you for being my daughter.
Now, I'm going to cry.
You big crybaby.
Also, I just want to say how very, very thankful I am to Muddy River News for letting me immortalize your story.
Thank you,
Yeah.
babe.
Yeah, now you live forever
Yep.
on the
Ever
internet.
and ever
Also,
and
thank
ever.
you, Rancam.
For listening
we
to
love
all
you,
this.
and we thank you for sticking this out with us.
I don't have a mic on.
That's all right. We can hear you. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Yeah.
You guided this, girl.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you.
Are you?
Yes.
I thought I was going to talk too much, so I apologize if I talked too much, but this
This
was
is
a
the
very
thing that
important
you
one.
talk about.
Yeah,
so.
this was an important one. So thank you all for joining in. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
You don't want my sweaty one.